Alright, so here we are on my first series on Twitch. Yes, we're at your subtitle screen, but that's because we haven't gone to the game quite yet. Um, Probably wondering what this game is. Well, I'll let you know what it is. Well, you know what? Actually, I'll just wait until you guys, wait until the game starts to surprise you guys with it. Um, this will be a little different from um most games. I will be talking to the chat, but I'll also be talking to the narrator quite a bit. Um, just because of how the nature of the game is. This is a very funny game and it has a lot of charm to it. And I figured this would be a great way to start off when we still are kind of new to Twitch. So let's start it off. We want the subtitles because that's all I did right now. The English subtitles confirm. Yeah, so this is the Stanley Parable. I have played the Stanley Parable before. I've actually pretty much completed this game, but I started over a new profile, so you guys can get the full experience of it. So we'll say, yeah, we played it before. This is just the Saito Cruise. Okay, that was good. What is it at the current time? It is currently 12:02. Confirm. Accessibility settings, yeah. Alright. Let's see, settings, is alright. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Subtitles, yeah. That was good, that's good. That's good. Alright, let's begin the game. Request you to listen to the narrator.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, so This is Stanley Parable that was narrated just started speaking. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking to him as well as the chat when people come in. But yeah, this is the Stanley Parable. Quite the game. Alright, this is our office. So he said we come out. Should we? I don't know. What if an order comes in? Well, I'm not here for it. Alright, fine. Let's go on an adventure.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A memo, you say?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You don't know that. Maybe they are planning a surprise party for me. You ever think about that? Did you? Shut the computer off. Save the planet. Conserve electricity. We are not using things. Let's do this way. Alright, so we'll this paper ship. Clean that up. No one here. People moving the computer over, they're not using them. Shameful. Shameful. Aha. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, hey Jen, welcome in. We're playing the Stanley Parable. You came to our first choice. Narrator says we should go left. You know what? I don't like the narrator. He's a douche. We're gonna go right and not listen to him.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, maybe I want to stop by the employee lounge just to admire it.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh, it's beautiful. But what a room. You know, maybe we could stay here the whole game.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Well, you know, who cares about my coworkers in the first place? They were all mean. They were all jerks. They never appreciated me.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Hey, don't kink shame me. I happen to like beautiful rooms, okay?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Maybe send me a message, guys. Maybe. No? Alright then.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
You know what? No. No. You are being mean, so I'm gonna not listen to you.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I can follow directions just fine, I just choose not to. Putting for just use a cargo list 1,000, putting for jumping other 5,000. I don't know if I actually have that much money, but you know what? YOLO!
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You're not?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Has it?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I don't care.
Someone you've forgotten about. Really?
Yes.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
You do.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me
Do
prove
you?
it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright. One chance. But I'm watching you. Well, this isn't beautiful at all. This is kind of dingy, actually.
Now
Oh.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door? No. I don't like the look of the red door. Besides, this is my favorite course. Let's go through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Hey, Jet, welcome in. We are playing the Stanley Parable. Red door? No, narrator. I like blue. This is my favorite color. Don't you know me at all?
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
There's blue door over here, though. Let's go to the blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Thank you. Now we're on the same page.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Yeah, all those
Work
things.
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option.
Ooh.
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
But now I'll go to the door left door like you told me. The new door. Oh. You know what? It's orange. It's new. It's exciting. Let's go for it. The game is funny? Yeah, it is. You should definitely buy it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I do like choosing games. So, yeah, it's also a good choice.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
I don't
How
know.
did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
Do you have a soul?
You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
A leaderboard? Wow. Now we're talking my language here. Good old Neil. Now, dude. Where am I? I'm last? Well, I think I was doing that badly. Let's get your help. There, for instance, I have no friends. I'm behind a dead rat. Oh, this is horrible. Not cool, narrator. Not cool.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No! You make me last!
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
What?
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
4 hours?
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh. What a horrible sound. No, we're not gonna stand here for 4 hours. Maybe you can die.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Spite you mostly.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Thanks.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we have here?
It's a new game.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
A new game. Hooray.
Aha!
Oh.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I know this game. It's Firewatch. I played this game this was about maybe a year ago, maybe less. Fun game, right? Beautiful game, in fact. Apparently, this time though, I'm a creepy man who lives in the woods. Oh, wrong way. This way. Creep tower.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
What? What can it be? I wonder if I can find Robertans. They put him in here?
It is. It's an open world game.
Well, yeah.
Good God, quickly, block it off.
What? Oh!
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
I want to go explore.
Wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're up in the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
No, I want to stay.
Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Aww.
Okay.
Learning my open
this
world
will be just the thing.
Oh.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
It's Rocket League.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Yes.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown
Sports
together.
ball.
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
It's like a home run in sports ball. Yeah. Oh, not that way. No.
Are you doing it? Are you winning?
Yeah.
Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Yes.
Stanley, I have thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Oh, a second ball?
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
We're gonna win. More balls. Holy shit, there's balls everywhere. Ooh. Wow.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Yes.
Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
It is.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
What?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
My ball. Well, that was mean. Taking my ball away just because I'm having fun. And now what do we do? We get defilled with no balls. Not fun. It's over here. Oh!
Hold on. What are you doing?
Going away from you. That's what I'm doing.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Well, you know, you walked out, man. You said you were done. You don't want to play with me anymore. So ha. Oh. This has seen better days. Creepy. Lights! Let it into the tunnel. Let's go. Oh, just one light. More darkness. A different office. I don't know for sure, but I heard this office was what was like in the beta of this game. I don't know for sure, but that's what I heard from, you know, the internet. Well, nothing doing in the office. Let's go back.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay then. The end is never, the end is never, the end is never. So yeah, this game has multiple endings, and that was one of many. I don't remember exactly how many endings there are, but there's a lot of them. So that was just one path we could take. So let's try a new path this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now there's an achievement for touching this door 5 times.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Was it not this door? Maybe this one.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
Yeah.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Yeah.
Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
3 times? Oh, alright. Do that.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
50 clicks? Okay.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. I think that's this way. 417, 417, 417. Is this it? Yes. 20 clicks.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. This way. We will get this achievement.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. 415. Where are you? You're here. 416. 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
437. Achievement, here we come.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine, of course.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419's desk. This one.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416 is over here.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Yes, the copy machine again. Ah.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes!
Woo!
We did it!
Achievement!
Wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks.
What was I thinking?
Really now? What were you thinking?
Yes, what was I thinking indeed? Well, we got the achievement, guys. We're awesome. Onward. Stop wasting electricity. Ah. Bring input. That input thing is leads to another ending that we're not gonna get to just yet. Might do a little later. It takes a lot of run throughs to get it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, we're not gonna listen to it right now.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Horrible. Let's go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright. First door on my left then? Okay. I'll bite.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Outside's the blood inside, too passive aggressive. I know who's not supporting you. Besides the show, it's okay. Make sure you slide a slick blue graphic in the header. Let's live on the text. It was unique. You most of all. Oh. Which am I? Number of slides on this slide. Slides. Charts and slides. Oh. The pie chart. Various charts on the same slide with the same information. Lots of times. We have increased. I guess your slide. There's no charts. The bus registration. On your bus registration worksheet. Select plain things you love most about your boss. Fill out and critique in terms of your boss registration specialist. Interpersonal conflict. Why did we hire you? You're right now, you're both. Okay, I think we had enough on the slides. Ooh, closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here,
Oh,
so he turned around and got back on track.
There's things here. There's a broom, a mop, bucket, dirty wire.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I don't know. Maybe there's a secret.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yep. A signature move. That's it.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Cool.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely
It's
confused.
fine.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. but it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, that's the difference between you and me.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yeah.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
My favorite.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Well, I don't have any friends.
Stanley was
joke's
fat and
on
ugly
you.
and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley's addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes. Hookers blow.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
I'm dead.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Oh,
In
well,
a situation like
darn.
this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Oh. I live alone, so there's no one else here. And he's doing a headset, so they wouldn't hear that anyways. Let's go into the hallway, I guess.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Oh look! A broom closet!
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
No, I think I'm the only living thing in this house. No bugs or anything like the controls do. Just me. Not gonna say anything else? Alright then.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We'll listen to him for now. What's this? Executive bathroom. Oh, this is nice. There's magazines in here. Extreme bathrooms. I'm guessing that the other one's Time. Too rich to start crime? Too rich is crime. Oh, to be rich is crime? Or isn't it rich? Well, if it would be to have picked just one. I don't know, man. It's some something too big for me. What's in here? Oh. Well, that's sad. What panda bear? An elevator? Sweet elevator music. Dance, Stanley, dance. There it isn't going anywhere, does it?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yep. Couldn't have known it. Let's try a different code.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. $2845.
Aw. Alright, 2845.
Forgot, but it turns out that the tunnel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo indeed. Ooh.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. That sounded a lot like the word escape. But we don't want to escape. Onward.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Maybe. Now we could go over there. But I want to try something. Whee! Haha!
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome.
Thanks.
You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates.
Sure.
Isn't that what you crave? New content?
Yes.
Always more content, more content, more.
More
And I'm going to
content.
give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game.
Ooh.
It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
I'm special,
We
guys.
call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
Dance, guys.
Jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. And I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Yeah. So that was another ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What could it mean? Ah, another input. So yeah, if we get all the inputs, another ending will come. We'll see if we can get it through normal play.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's not listen to the narrator this time again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, that's not why we're going this way.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper. Something darker.
Darker.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Let's red left again.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She? Who's she? Or who? I'm watching you, narrator. Yeah.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I'm gonna text message, guys. Or, no, we can get on my nerves. I'm just unplug it.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed
I
him,
think we
filling
can.
him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
I have a
Music
wife?
comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Oh, okay.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
Oh.
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness. Is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a bag second crack.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
I made a lot of choices today, I just realized. That video makes you think. You make a lot of choices in life. Okay, where are we going? Oh, they put a railing on here so you can't jump off.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Any place well equipped to deal with reality now. Let's go.
Almost there. you'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Oh, but the real world's boring. Let's go back to the real world.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, Stanley's a rebel.
No!
Oh.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Okay, left door. Oh.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now.
The chat made me do it.
Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Hello? Oh.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yeah.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Oh.
Oh. My story.
Pick a
If
new
you'd
one.
just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. We'll listen to him.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, look, it's the room closet, guys. Oh, he locked it. Darn.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, I can't go down either. The second bathroom's gone. He's not letting me make choices now. Wait. This looks different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. I think Stanley's a mute, guys.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Stanley can't speak.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
This game isn't connected to my mic.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
You took away my choices.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. Is that Stanley?
Stanley? Hello? Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
What they never realized is the game also needs me. So that was another end. Onward we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I guess we're not gonna get to that ending now. Ooh! Guys, look. New content. Check it out.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Let's see. Ooh.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Beautiful.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Yeah.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah.
Is it broken? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Should we be moving somewhere or...
think-
there we go.
Ah.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Just take me to this content. Okay. Oh.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Jump circle. I can jump now? Jump. The jump circle. Woo! Oh, I can't jump outside the jump circle. Whee! Oh, I'm out of jumps. What else is here?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Oh, another elevator. Surely.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Yeah, me too. What?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Yeah.
What do you say, friend?
Well, I don't know if we're friends. Alright. Look at the content, guys. Oh. This is different.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
What's up here?
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
I just want to see what's over here first. I'll come back. It's just the office. Okay. Let's go see the surprise you got for me.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
That's right. I'm not a dork. Woo! So, why are we in the vent now?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me
Yeah.
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Okay. Ooh. Mystical.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've
Beautiful.
been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh. I like it.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Nintendo Switch port?
Hey.
Back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
What's wrong with the Nintendo Switch? Stanley Parable. Audience award. Some other award I can't read. 2015. Original. Look at that. Good times. Screenshots of the game. Memory. It's probably because it happened. Maybe it was the first star they ever made? Oh, the demo. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Yeah, that was an achievement. In the original Stanley Parable, you don't play for 5 years, you come back and get this achievement called Go Outside and play for 5 years. It was supposed to get this achievement. Don't remember that one. Awards it got. Video game releasing today. New York Times. Stanley Parable Joe's tough choices. Lost from Tyrannus? I've not heard of that newspaper. Oh, beautiful music.
Suis dans la Memory Zone, c'est sur l'abri de l'eau, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour. C'est là, dans la
And over here
Memory
is where I
Zone.
keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
Wow.
That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them.
Oh.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Don't even accept this one. How do you make a game like Stanley Parable? The only part of it is risk extermination. You know what it has to say about the game design. Is there a choice in the psychology of the game? Are you too much? Comparisons too. Woefully inadequate. That's as close as Scott will be to Esther. But where did Esther waste the form of payment? Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. Thinking it's spreading more games and it was in any form of art. Two horse sizes and succeed. This game. And so holding the game spin to be hotel. Definitely not going to be correct. So how do you review what becomes known instead of what each do? Also reimagining of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it? Analyze it and recommend it. It's simple. Don't. Wonder if that's a real review. What's done here? Oh. Here's a maintenance. Hmm.
Here's another moving passage. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Nintendo Switch. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
I've always been someone who wants to go the wrong way in first-in games. If the game is trying to usher me down a particular path, you either run from left or right, or maybe you just charge straight ahead. That's my instinct to go against the grain. It's hard to see the desires to flip back the other way. Sometimes I find a one-up or a collectible stashed away to reward me for my insured behavior. Other times, the reward only by the Christian of running up against an invisible wall. I gotta find or don't find, my action is a manifestation of desire to live. So independence, take my own choices when the system is very limited my options and encourages certain behaviors. Being part of feels alive and is responsible for your choices. Which is avert your expectations and keep uninterested. Yeah, I like to go get this game too, my games. I think of the Stanley Parable as a sort of video game analogy for Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze's brilliant film adaptation. It gently mocked the ways in which so many films manipulate audiences with running plot twists and situations where characters learn huge life lessons. While simultaneously moving me with its real-life plot twists and situations when characters learn huge life lessons. Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choices in games and in other systems too, like our workplaces and families. And again, offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. Going the wrong way has never felt so right. I totally relate to that.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, this door's open now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Pressurized gas. It's a play on Steam. That's funny. Oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
See, there's a good review here, but it's blocked off and unreadable. Oh God, the bad reviews. Oh no. It's like the comment section on YouTube. Never read.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No. I think it becomes repetitive and boring. That's despite all the alternative endings and game carrying appearances. Game's talent, thought-provoking, but you'll get the idea it tries to communicate very fast. And then it's just repeating the whole no choice things over and over again. For some who prefers non-linear games, it's preaching to get something fast. And it's neither a revelation nor very interesting. It is not broken only the first few minutes. I'm not sure I agree with that. I thought it was not broken all the time. And a good review that you can't read. Let's see what's over here. Another one.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Skip button? Wow.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, We'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
Not sure.
I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Wow.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
It was.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
No.
A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear.
Maybe we just need to skip to get to the door.
Can you maybe just ram your way through? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's
So
just you and the
skip
button.
more.
And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
Yeah.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you hear me once you push that button. Then... Oh, hello. It's you.
Yes,
You're here
it's
again.
me.
Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
No.
describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
I don't want to
felt
hear this.
nothing at
Narrator? Hello? Guess he's gone.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be
Oh,
funny.
there
It
he
was
is.
meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this.
Is he gone again?
The end is never the end, 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 is...
I think he's gone for good. Oh. Oh. Well, now there's a hole. Oh. It's being overrun by nature again. Oh. Are we in the Shadow Realm? What was that? Wasn't aware this was a horror game. Let's get out of here. Skip button's broken. A way out. Oh. Let's follow the sun. Onward. If we continue in one direction, we have to find it eventually, right? That's what I believe. We'll find something. Someday. If we don't die of thirst in the desert. Ooh. Oh, we're back.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay, that's a little bit new. New content, you say?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, let's dive in. Elevator again? Alright.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, a full-on sequel.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
End is never the end again.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. More TSP. Better TSP. Paradise Synergy. Brick and mortar approach. Revoke clientele monitoring. Cloud Reds. Leverage holistic value. Interesting.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Meeting plan. 9 o'clock, scrum. 10 o'clock, design pitch. 11:30, break. 11:05, design. 12:02, number 2 chat. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. There's no work. Who took the red marker? Me. Show floor. New features.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Merch. Something new content. What's this? Let's go some of this first. Button that says the name for China game. The name of the game. Ooh.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Wonderful. Say my name.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Okay.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I'm Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally, dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
But I want to hear my name again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
But I'm Jim. See? I know exactly who I am. I'm Jim. Who took Jim's in the way.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
It works because my name is Jim. Well, Sims World Champion. Ah, this. This is an interesting door. You actually have to go into the settings and click every single thing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit here and make sure we get every single click so we can open this door. It can take a while, but I'm able to do it. It's kind of worth it. What's behind the door? Have to look through all the languages. So turn that off. Go to the size of the subtitles. Let's have background. This can take a while. But I promise you, this will be all worth it in the end. This is good. Show reticle on and off. Show jump phones on and off. The tools. Position on and off. Move on and off. I know this is taking a while, guys. Especially it'll all be worth it in the end. Turn it off. Close on and off. Close on and off. Switch on and off. Even on and off. Turn all off. Now the audio.
This is the story of a man named This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So I guess technically, because when the narrator's voice completely down, never hear him again. You just read the subtitles, but that's no fun.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is
That'll be music. We're gonna get, guys. Uh. What? What did I miss? I don't know, guys. We'll figure that out later. Let's look at the other new content. Free new was an achievement. It's an achievement. Get yours right now. Full level. Receive no achievement. No worse. It just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Promise it will happen. Alright. You say so.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles.
Ah, collectibles.
Shiny.
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Aw. Collect them all. I actually know where they all are. We will find them. Eventually.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
It's horrible. The infinite hope. Ooh, wait, the jump circle. I want to jump
You know
some more.
what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Aw. Oh, that's fine, I guess. Let's go to the infinite hope, guys. Infinite hope. Imagine. Hope is actually infinite. Warhole infinite phone. Simply. just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Let's go fall down a hole. Whee!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, let's fall for a while, guys.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? I mean, this is fun. It's
Okay,
in the
Stanley,
sea.
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Really?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a liar
did.
and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as
It's
deep as
normal.
anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I want to jump in the hole again.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Oh.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I
did.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Not me.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
All right.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Very disappointing.
How is this still appealing to you?
I like
I
holes.
know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Okay. Well, let's go to the surface.
Is the teleport button not working?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It's still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
What?
I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and
Hey.
now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
Wait, I want out.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole
No.
have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
No, come back. Teleport button. Jump. Uh-oh. We're stuck here. Now what? Why is the creepy music starting? Oh. Oh, it's going down. It's becoming a hole again. Because I believed it didn't hit so much that it's regained its true form. Okay, well, hold on. You can change your perspective. Oh, it's gotten epic, guys. Look at Stanley, the hero we all needed, the hero we deserve. Change your perception. Change reality. Change yourself. Oh. Whoa.
Stanley? Stanley?
Huh?
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Toodle-pip. Oh, is it gonna start again? No. Back in the obsession.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
This is Gem. Went in there already. There's a whole jump circle. Do the collectibles. There's more here, I know there is. Oh, they're over here. The reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Bucket!
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
It's a bucket, guys. You got a bucket. So, we've been thinking about, the world champion. And I think we should try and do it again. And I think, what we did wrong was we had to see it in different languages to get it. So we're gonna go back to the world champion door and try the.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I agree, it should. So let's go. This is the epilogue. This is how you get rid of 4.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
It would.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Doors up here. We are gonna get the world champion. We're gonna be the world champions of setting these guys. So, back into the settings. Okay, we've done everything in English. I'll try it in Dutch. We'll get the setting world champion, guys. Don't worry. Oh, this is big. We can do it though. We're doing this one. Is this the one we missed? Yeah, we're trying to do this one. Wow. Oh, there it is. We missed that one slider. Let's go back to English so we can actually read. What was it saying though? Show reticle. Ah, we got it, guys. Huh? Did we? Yeah. See?
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Bumpscosity, guys. You're the champion. I was setting all the slides to office members. During this trip, decision was made just for you. Something's different. Did I put something on the thing that I didn't want? Oh, translation. So you don't need that. But, look guys. Viscosity. We need 1,000 plus comedy. Look at all the viscosity this game has now. So we got Six World Champion. Where's the map? There's it here. Give the guy thing. Jump circle for achievement. Gym button merch. Six World Champion. Offers decorations. We haven't done that yet. See, that's 3. That's what this is. It's 3. Where are we? That was 5. So we are here. So first just across the way. No. We have to go. What's this sign say? No, we don't want to exit, not yet. There's one more new feature. Don't remember how to get there exactly, but we will find it. Is this it? Yeah, office decorations.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Let's go with the Get Well Someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Oh.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Alright then. I think that's everything in the new content, guys. We got our bucket, we got the collectible, we saw an infinite hole. No, mostly infinite hole. We got the Saints World Champion. We saw merch. Saw the jump circle again. Saw a free achievement. We got to be Jim. No, we still are Jim. So it's the office decoration, so epilogue. The only thing left now is the exit. Which is over this way. Let's go. With our bucket.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here it is.
My
I give
bucket.
you the Stanley Parable 2.
Well,
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of
we have a
gags.
whole...
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
What the...
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
We're making a game. Look, the Stanley Parable 2. Settings. There's viscosity. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a
Balloons.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Guys.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's the secret
No
of
matter
Stanley
how hard
Parable.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
It's okay, guys. We have our bucket now. Everything will work out.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Bucket, Let's go on an adventure.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Bucket, you never fail. You always give the right decisions.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yes.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Okay, they were
Stanley
wrong.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd
Just
find
making
answers.
Don't get fired. Go good, guys.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
What?
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
What?
You can feel that, can't
No.
you? The aura of jealousy. It's
It's
as
my
clear
bucket.
as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. You
Never.
can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other
Never.
cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard
my
it must
bucket.
be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Never.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends. That your
yeah.
relationship is purely superficial and convenient. That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I'd never.
How dare
Go
they?
on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Yes.
Go through each of them point by point.
Point by
Share
point.
your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Yes. Bucket is my friend. We've been through everything together. How dare you from
Okay,
die?
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
What is it?
Here we go. There.
Property
Now it's settled.
standard.
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet.
Yeah.
All your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Take a hike. It's my bucket. See?
All
Property
right, I've got a
standard.
second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well
Oh.
because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
This
That
is a
way,
bucket.
if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yes. This bucket is mine, and it's a bucket.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be
How
honest,
dare you.
I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yeah. Screw you, broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Now, there is something in the executive bathroom now. Look.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yes. The figurines.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I believe. Yes, another figurine.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine. Many stands is better. They're in the Stanley things. Stanlerines.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
The bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh, bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
What terrible secret is it? Could it be?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Huh?
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It'll be okay, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Oh, the bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Bucket. Let's rule the world!
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Silly birds.
Stanley flipped
how
through
silly
one
they
video
are.
of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling
Penguins.
silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, I could be happy with this. Listening to silly birds for all time. I gotta stop stuffed animals, guys. And the silly things they do.
My God, the bumpscosity in here is absolutely overwhelming.
Yeah.
1,000? You people have got to be nuts. How can you stand this much bumpscosity?
It's insane, I know. But where would we be without all the bumpscosity? Bucket!
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, we're gonna go the way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We're going here.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Yes, Bucket. My master.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly. Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yes. Life with Bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket. Listen, it's me, your bucket. That's me, take me to work with you. Yes, bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press right to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press down, go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
No. Wrong. Don't listen to the loud man. Press right for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Don't listen to him, bucket. Press up to ignore anyone you're left, except for me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Let's have to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press up to live the same day with me, over and over. Yes, bucket.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is. Press up to go home. To work. To home. To work. To home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now.
Bucket.
Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him. telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to
We're not
do.
going to worry. Top.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right
No
there. It
buckets
says,
past
no
this-
buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that
Impossible.
would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
You must know what a bucket is.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, it's a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh,
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
You checked me twice before. So this time, it can't be a bucket, right?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Hmm.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No, that's tractor.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Of course, it's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes, everything is a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore
bucket is
nothing
everything.
could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
We're all buckets.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
What?
Okay, here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know
Yay.
that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Chat. You guys are buckets. Remember that. You're buckets. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to tell you that. Never mind. I said nothing.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I want to share another image with you guys without the bucket. I know the bucket's great, but let's do this. I'm gonna get on this chair. Go here, go here. Got the window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I'm sick of this gag. No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay, so we have to put this and begin the game again. Now we're going to do that again and hit the other option.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh gosh.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Oh no. I'll become unbearable, guys. Unbearable before I even hit affiliate. No. No. We must begin the game again. Now, I think I'm going to show you guys what I believe is my favorite ending, but it has but shocking, I know.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Oh. I've never seen that before. But yeah, this is one of the longer endings that doesn't have to do with the bucket. I think there is a variation with the bucket, but we're going to do that. We'll do it with the bucket another time. Gotta do this way. Don't listen to me.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge just to admire it.
Go by the employee lounge.
And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. We're going down here.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
To left it is.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Oh, alright then.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Alrighty. I'm trusting you.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Close your eyes, everyone.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Okay. We just have to get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now.
Ooh,
the whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Ooh, you got fired.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Then turn off. Whoa!
Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Find the story. Find the story. That's right. In here? Oh. A little big circle.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whoa.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything.
Alright. Back in the other direction.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
Different?
The story. Here it comes.
Story?
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Trace our steps, of course. Now we're...
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
Guys, we win!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Adventure Line?
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Follow the line, guys. Huh?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Study the fern. Take a mental picture. Click. Oh, Sam, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you don't know why the fern is important? Well, it's quite an important fern. Will we figure out why today? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, we've been... I'm glad you're doing alright. We've been doing some run-throughs of different endings. Finding
Wait,
some
what?
interesting
We're
ones.
back at the office?
Oh.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Mr. Narrator, I think the line's trying to mess with us. Maybe we'll go this way. Oh,
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
no, I haven't gotten that achievement yet. That's one of the achievements I haven't got yet. I got almost every on them. But this is a new profile where I had nothing unlocked, so I can give everyone the full experience. Because you know what happens if you go through it so much, I think. Back to the line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're
Yeah.
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting.
Yes,
new,
our own story.
mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh, yeah, we did the door handles thing. We did that. That was the second thing we did.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yes, new story. We can make it whatever we want to be. Oh, no.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge the line. The line is a snake in the grass. You shall find it. Oh, it was right. With no line.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Circles.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The games are set. No matter who plays this, where you know what Firewatch is, you'll end up in Firewatch, and then you'll end up in Rocket League. Before, in the original game, it actually sent you to Minecraft first, and then Portal. But I guess they decided to use Modern is the new version. Yeah, when I first saw we got Firewatch, I'm like, oh, I know this game. And then we got a Rocket League and got the kick around balls. Yeah, it would be cool if it actually like did an computer or Steam or something and used the games on there. But I guess that'd be a lot ambitious. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the we start again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
Oh, does
How
it?
would we even know? Will
Can
someone
you try
come
the
for us?
information?
Will something happen?
I mean, one shot's a
So, okay.
pretty different kind of game, isn't it?
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Then again, Ducky Duck Literature Club does the same thing. It reads your Steam name and talks to you like that. Even installs files on your computer for you. So, I mean, I guess some games have done it. But I'm thinking, like, with this game, it'd be hard to do it considering what it does with other games. It takes your game and alters, it takes this game and alters them, so it'd be hard to take those games and alter them, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like, could you really take, like, what's a game that's on Steam? Stardew Valley, and alter it so it talks to Stanley on a level of where, like, oh no, the narrator, he says, we don't want to be here, this is bad. What kind of game is this? I think that would be hard to do. I'm not a game programmer, maybe it'd be easy. But I think that'd be hard to do. But that would be a very cool idea, I have to agree.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days?
Oh.
Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Okay, man. Have good luck. Guys, it's the boxes. The boxes from the phone call. I never seen that phone. I never listened to that phone call. We got the boxes. They delivered them all right. Yeah, I've never seen the boxes before either. Wow, there's more. Bucket. Look at all the boxes.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yeah, there's two different types of balloons you can get. You can get little Sunday balloons, or you can get happy birthday, September 12th birthday stepniece. Yeah, go have a good look and wash up, man. Alright, let's see, what was the one I wanted to do? Oh, I remember.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
How come we find them? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. The Pretty Cross officer send you pictures to ensure their achievement. Questions. There is no member for management. I can tell you spotted one. That makes the fly in the air. Get their pictures of them. Well, includes probably by 4416. You can do it. Andrew? Thank you, good luck. Yeah, so if you look over here, it'll tell you it'll give you hints to where they are. Third room, lots of boxes. Stairs leading to a stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Is this some kind of game? Must be a point to this. Tricks on you, there is no point. The completionist instinct. Yes, I know where all the figures are. We'll try and get them all. There's a blue closet.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh, guys, these are stickers. Oh, well. Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So yeah, one of the figures is down here. Aha.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I like Figlies. Let's go with Figlies. That's it. They're named Figlies now. And we're gonna go up and into the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're gonna actually do, we did an ending for the bucket now.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
And turn on the lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Prepare to walk down.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
How does a bucket cushion someone's fall?
So they set up a little couch
Metal
and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket. It was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Well, that's quite a thing. So, you're probably wondering where the one with all the boxes is.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Thanks, narrator. Yeah, but there's a figurine that said lots of boxes. I'm gonna show that one now. If I want to get the other one in the same run, we cannot take the bucket with us. So we're going to leave the bucket here for now.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct
the
way to the meeting
with
room,
boxes.
and Stanley knew it perfectly
Over
well.
this way.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It's okay. So keep going this way.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We go in here, the cargo room.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Notice there's a ramp here now. So you can go up here. And if you go over here, you can drop down. You see there's a figurine over there. So, in here and walk very carefully over to it.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
That's a horrible name. The Anmarines. So yeah, you don't want to fall. At least I don't want to. That would surely result in death. Okay, let's make your way back over here. And go in the vent. Oh wait, I can't get them both in the same run, I forgot. This is where you end up when you do this.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
Are
It was
you?
all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It
You know me
must
so
be
well.
so simple to be you.
Yep.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights.
Yes.
How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
It's not my fault you live a sad life, Mr. Narrator. So, the other figurine, the red and blue,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
you cannot get with the bucket. So, we won't be taking a look at this time. Either. So we can get to the figurine. To actually get that view, we have to go towards an ending we already did. This is new. Yeah, sometimes this game will slightly change the appearance of the office for some reason. I guess this
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
shake things up sometimes.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We're going here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Yeah.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
See, the bucket says this one. So you couldn't take the bucket here.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
And there it is.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
So, I think the figurine thing is over. Alright? No, it's not. I don't think we have time to see all the figurine stuff today in this stream, so we'll probably have to figure that out next. But since we still have time to do something, let's see what happens. Go through the red door that they never really wanted.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think Well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It is pretty. But, that's all we do. Just look at the pretty lights. Oh. Oh. Let's go see what's out here.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Okay, let's go back in there. I don't need to be unhappy.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
But this thing is boring. Do I have to? No. No, you know what? We're not going to stay here. I want to see the stairs again.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Stairs.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
We must test the limits.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Think about it? Okay. I'm thinking about it. Yep. Let's do it. Woo!
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
That was fun. Let's do it again.
No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Woohoo!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Great nut.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Yes.
Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yep. Geronimo!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Yes, it's my choice. My choice is to throw myself in the balcony over and over until I die. Wahoo!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh. This game. So. We are almost out of time. There is one quick ending I can show you. Oh. I guess we won't be able to do that.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Amazing.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yes.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Yeah,
just
let's
one
do it.
more time.
We can do this instead.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Look. 7 of 6. You collect the Fiend figurines all over again. Yeah, Sam. I don't know. Those arms always did freak me out a little bit.
And here was a second Stan Loreen. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
In the executive bathroom? Should be good. Should be easy to get in there. Just go up there and turn left and hit the door and you should be able to go in. Oh. Yeah, you have to get all the figurines and then you'll probably see the arms. So yeah, we got all the figurines and now we're kind of recollecting them. You want to relive the memories.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Third mini stand. That was the boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh, you didn't get all of them? Do you know which one you missed, or how many did you get?
Let's see, what came next?
Oh, so you're only missing 1. Yeah, a couple are a little hard to figure out. I don't know if you noticed, but in the meeting room, there's a board to the right that will tell you, give you a hint to where each one is. That might help.
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember this room, narrator. The memory zone may be faulty.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
How you felt by the mirror. What's that right there? Main stand number 5. Yeah! We found it in the cargo yet. Thanks for watching.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
And over here. This way, this way.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible,
Yes.
the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Bye, Memory Zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Oh, alright, guys. Backwards.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Alright, narrator. You want more?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I love that video.
It's alright.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good
Yeah.
room, though. A solid room.
It's okay room, but yeah, I don't remember this room at all.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
I guess. Can't even quote a reward though.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I guess because you can't live in the past.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh, it's really creepy.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Oh, the
Look
jump
how much
circle?
fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Alright, jump circle was cool, but it was only 3 jumps. I wanted more.
Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's
I
something
think
I
so.
feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So, oh, the phone's ringing again.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
I can't believe I never found that before. So, yeah. I want to show you guys the quick ending that I was going to show you before I got back onto the figurine thing. With the buckets.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to jump from the platform. Kill ourselves.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
And I think that's all we have time for. I was going to go for 4 hours, and that's not. I don't think we have time for another ending. So, I think we will end here for today. And we will see more endings the next time. So, we need to find out someone to raid. Let's see who's online. Okay, what do you guys think about some Animal Crossing? So I will see you guys next time. Next week, same time, same place. Bye.